Was honestly hoping this wouldn't be a some assembly required kind of deal, but when you're dealing with international shipping, I suppose flat packing for something like this really is the only option, or only affordable option. So I don't fault the Etsy seller for that. Let's pull all of this out. So right off the top, you can see I've got a Mega Man 7 reproduction box, which was something I have been really wanting since mine is in really rough shape. And there's also a reproduction manual in there because the manual I have is a rental store photocopy manual and not the real thing. So this isn't the real thing either, but it's definitely much closer to it than what I have now. This one is for Clay Fighter 63 1/3 Sculptor's Cut. Again, these aren't meant to fool anybody except me. This is just for my own personal enjoyment, and I will make sure that if these ever leave my hands, they are marked as reproductions so that nobody gets misled. I've got a box and manual for Mario Tennis, which will allow me to make that one complete, other than the dust tray that's supposed to go with it. The only part that's missing is that little end piece, but I will be able to make a complete set out of this, including one of these trays to hold it in. So that'll be a nice little set. And same deal here with Red Alarm. Got the manual and box, and here's my loose copy of the game. So again, I will be able to make a nice little set out of this. Another one of these trays. So I need to start assembling things. I like that it says for display only. So that's actually marking that it's a reproduction, which I appreciate. And there we go. My once loose copy of Mario Tennis now has a box and manual. Even if it's a reproduction, I think it looks really nice. It's going to be much better to display this way. And there's my boxed copy of Red Alarm. Now this one doesn't say for display only, which maybe that was just because the Mario Tennis one was a packing game, so it might be that that's the actual reason it said for display only and not because it's a reproduction box. But again, I'm not out here trying to fool anybody with these boxes, so it's just for me and my own display purposes. I do have one extra tray here, and that's because I had a Virtual Boy game that didn't have a tray, so I'm gonna go grab that. These are my other boxed Virtual Boy games, all of which are the actual boxes, but I believe it's Panic Bomberman that doesn't have a tray inside, so let me check that really quick. This is the roughest out of all of the ones that I own, but it was a good price, so I didn't mind. Yeah, there's no tray at all in there. All right, we will solve that problem. And to hold the cartridge snugly in place. So let's alphabetize and sort these. got Mario Clash, Panic Bomber, Vitris, Virtual Boy, Wario Land. So I need to put Red Alarm here. And need to put Mario Tennis here. That's a nice little stack of Virtual Boy games. Considering I didn't even own a Virtual Boy until this year, I suddenly have 6 games and manuals and boxes for all of them. Even if 2 of them are reproductions, I still think that's pretty darn cool. This makes me happy. And sometimes, as a collector, that's all that matters, is collect what makes you happy. And boxed Virtual Boy games are making me happy right now. But I'm not going to take my copy of Mega Man 7 out of the box it's in right now. I'm going to use Rockman 7. So that there's actually something in this box when I put it on the shelf. I wasn't sure about when I bought it if they would actually be the right size or not, but it fits perfectly into a SNES protector box, so spot on the money here. It's just a thing of beauty to have a nice looking box for this game and not have to pay hundreds of dollars for one in any kind of condition, let alone looking as nice as this reproduction. That's why this is a reasonable way to go as a collector. Like, sometimes getting a reproduction that can fool you from a distance and make you happy is more important than spending hundreds of dollars for a box that's not even going to be as nice as this. I encourage you to, as a collector, take the idea of a reproduction box into consideration. If you have a game that you enjoy like this, that you want something to display with on a shelf, instead of necessarily having to pay the resale price or price charting price or whatever the going eBay price is, this is a affordable, enjoyable way to go about your business. And if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad, as the song says. Why not be a little whimsical about this whole thing, huh? Let's do that. Well, I think that came together beautifully, don't you? And now, since there's a copy of Super Mario 64 Japan inside it, I don't mind putting it on my shelf because every one of these boxes actually has a game in it, even if it's not the game on the box, but I'll know that. Again, my amusement only, so this was a fun project. I feel like I have done well, and I think the seller did well too, so let me go ahead and give them a shout out right here. Save money on your next order over 50 pounds with free ship 50. Here's a QR code if you needed help unfolding your cardboard. Some more instructions on the Virtual Boy tabbed boxes. And I'll put a link to them in the description as well. This is Mr. Mega Man Fan, and as always, thank you for watching.